और ये गोल टोपी वालों के जो आका है, क्यों ना मैं इनके बारे में सर्च करूं। तो जैसा मैंने मेरा फोन निकाला और मारा इनके आका के बारे में, तो हैरान करने वाला जबरदस्त वीडियो मिला मेरे को।
The man you just heard is Raja Singh, the Goshamal MLA and former BJP leader. But the speech you just heard cannot be played in full. It contains remarks about Prophet Muhammad. Those remarks sparked widespread protests across Hyderabad, led to Raja Singh's arrest, and was so controversial that even the BJP had to suspend him. Now, nearly 4 years later, a Hyderabad court has acquitted him. This is not an isolated case, yet it isn't the first time Raja Singh has walked free. Till September 2022, Raja Singh had been booked in 101 criminal cases. Out of those cases, he was convicted in just one. We reported that in 2022. In this episode, we have new numbers. Between December 2024 and end of 2025, Raja Singh was acquitted in 22 more criminal cases. Most of these cases were based on speeches made in public, recorded on video, uploaded online, broadcast on television, and watched by tens of thousands. So how do these cases keep collapsing in court? Is it because Raja Singh has an exceptional legal defense, or is it the police repeatedly failing to build strong cases? We've looked at more than 25 judgments, and what we found is shocking, and it lays down the reasons why Raja Singh always manages to get acquitted. Let me explain. If you've been following Let Me Explain, you know this is the part where I take a quick detour. It's easy to report that a politician made a hate speech. It's easy also to report that protests followed. Most newsrooms stop right there. At the News Minute, we've always believed that's not enough. We follow these cases all the way to the courts because that's where you find out whether law actually works. At a time when parts of the media are themselves amplifying hate, we want to do something different. Report with evidence and hold institutions accountable. That kind of journalism is possible only because of viewers like you. I say this every week, but I hope you'll take this seriously. If you value reporting like this, then please support us by making a contribution to Let Me Explain. You can scan the QR code and contribute any amount of your choice. And before I go forward, we're building a community around Let Me Explain, and if you'd like to be a part of it, then follow our WhatsApp channel. You'll get exclusive explainers, behind the scene updates from the show, and a few other things that we don't post anywhere else. Now let me start with the latest. On August 22nd, 2022, Raja Singh uploaded a video on Shri Ram Telangana YouTube channel. He was against comedian Munafar Farooqi's performance in Hyderabad. In the video, Raja Singh moved beyond criticism of Farooqi and made a series of remarks about Prophet Muhammad and Islam. In the speech, he referred to a hara book or a green book, and he made comments about Prophet Muhammad's marriages, spoke about Muslims eating beef, and said that this was only his first video and there are more such videos that would follow. The video triggered widespread protests across Hyderabad, particularly in the Old City. As tensions escalated, police deployed additional forces to maintain law and order. Coming just months after Nupur Sharma's comments in a similar vein, the BJP had no option but to suspend Raja Singh. On August 23rd, Hyderabad police arrested Raja Singh and he remained in custody for the next 77 days. The criminal case was based on a complaint filed by a man named Khader Khan. He told the court that the video insulted Islam and hurt the religious sentiments of Muslims. Khan testified that he downloaded the video, copied it onto a DVD, and handed it over to the police. He also submitted a Section 65B certificate, which is a legal requirement used to authenticate electronic evidence such as videos and digital records. Another prosecution witness, Javed Ali Qureshi, told the court that he'd watched the same video and that the remarks had deeply hurt the sentiments of Muslims. The prosecution's case was built around three key pieces of evidence: the DVD submitted by the complainant, the Section 65B certificate, and witness testimonies regarding the impact of the speech. But here's what's surprising or shocking. This was the case that triggered massive protests across Hyderabad, led to Raja Singh's arrest, his suspension from the BJP, and 77 days in jail. Yet, when the case came up for trial, the prosecution could not properly produce the very video on which the entire case was based. Raja Singh's lawyers pointed out that the original video was never produced before the court. Instead, the complainant had downloaded a copy from an NTV news broadcast, and this was handed over to the police. The defense questioned why the Telangana police never obtained and submitted the original video if there was even one. Because the video came from a television broadcast, it contained pauses and discontinuities. The defense argued that the possibility of edits could not be ruled out. In other words, the electronic evidence was incomplete. A video that Raja Singh himself uploaded on his own YouTube channel was not presented properly in court by Telangana police. The defense also argued that the prosecution had failed to prove an essential ingredient of Section 295A, that Raja Singh had acted with deliberate and malicious intent to outrage religious feelings. His lawyers referred to verses from the Quran and argued that his remarks were based on those texts rather than being fabricated insults. Ultimately, Raja Singh was acquitted. And this is a pattern we've seen play out many times before. One of the most illustrative examples is a case filed in 2016 by Hyderabad-based activist Mohammad Irfan Qadri. Qadri approached the police over a series of speeches made by Raja Singh and uploaded on YouTube. He specifically cited three videos from 2015 and 2016. In one of the speeches, Raja Singh warned Muslims that if they've slaughtered cows, they too would be slaughtered in the same way. The case took nearly 5 years to reach a conclusion. In December 2021, a special court acquitted Raja Singh. In this case too, the police failed to properly record and authenticate electronic evidence. The videos referred to in the complaint had been downloaded and copied onto a CD, but the procedures required for handling electronic evidence had not been followed correctly. Second, the police had not obtained government's approval before prosecuting the legislator. This approval is mandatory under Section 196 of the Code of Criminal Procedure for certain offences. There are several cases against Raja Singh which have fallen apart simply because the police did not get the sanction to prosecute him. My colleague Anjana Meenakshi looked at 22 cases in which Raja Singh was acquitted from December 2024 to December 2025. A majority of these cases were for hate speech and inciting communities. The most common reason for acquittal was prosecution's inability to show that anyone had actually been affected by the speech. In 15 cases, courts noted that there were no complaints from members of the community allegedly targeted by the remarks. Basically, no evidence that religious sentiments had in fact been hurt. In 14 cases, prosecution failed to prove to courts that speech had led to communal tension, public disorder, or a threat to peace. Digital evidence was another recurring weak spot. In 11 cases, the court said the mandatory Section 65B certificates needed to verify videos and other electronic evidence was defective. In 8 cases, electronic evidence was missing, unavailable, or blank when produced in court. In 10 cases, investigators failed to obtain forensic analysis of the recordings. In 9 cases, independent witnesses turned hostile. Is that really surprising? Because the joke in Hyderabad is that even Narendra Modi cannot defeat Raja Singh in Gosha Mahal. In 7 cases, judges refused to accept that certain words, gestures, and references automatically targeted a particular religious community without clear evidence. A handful of acquittals turned on technical legal grounds. In one case, the court held that an elected representative's criticism of the government and police was protected speech. Advocate K. Karunasagar, who represented Raja Singh in most of his cases, has openly stated that his strategy was often built around identifying procedural lapses committed by the investigators. In 2010, Raja Singh and others were accused of leading a mob that attacked a CRPF officer, vandalized police property, set fire to a mosque, damaged another mosque, and burned a shop during communal violence. The case eventually came up for trial more than a decade later. By then, the main complainant told the court that he did not know anything about the case and had merely signed a blank paper at the request of the police officers. The prosecution declared him hostile. Several other witnesses also failed to support the prosecutor's version of the events. Police witnesses confirmed that violence had taken place but could not identify those responsible. One police constable testified that a mob of around 300 people had pelted stones, but he could not identify any member of the crowd. The court finally acquitted everybody, including Raja Singh. Two other cases registered the same day at Afzalganj police station concerning attacks on mosques followed a similar trajectory. Just look at what's actually breaking these cases. It's not alibis or contradicted witnesses or any other evidence in Raja Singh's favor. It's the same failures over and over again, case after case. Up to 22 acquittals in just 1 year, and not one of them fell apart because Raja Singh proved his innocence. They fell apart because not enough was done to prove his guilt. Yesterday, when I spoke to Raja Singh's lawyer, he claimed that most of the cases were filed by the police to just satisfy public sentiment. And after that, the police failed in even doing the basics, that is to build a case. And that's exactly what the court records also show, that the speeches were recorded, the complaints were filed, FIRs were registered. In some cases, protests broke out and arrests were made. Yet, when the cases finally reached the court, the prosecution often failed at the most basic task, proving its own case. For Raja Singh, those failures have translated into acquittal after acquittal. But for the police and the prosecution, they raise a very important but uncomfortable question. If even high-profile cases with videos, witnesses, and public attention cannot survive in court, then what exactly is going wrong?